Why, hello there, everybody, and welcome to Shenanigans. How are our two players doing today?
All right.
And fine as April wine.
Is there something special about April wine?
I don't know. It just seemed like a thing to say.
All right. How's your week's been, gentlemen?
All right.
Typical crazy busy kind of sort of stuff.
Lovely, lovely. I feel like we have a couple of new characters, so why don't we introduce our new characters today? Rob, you want to start since you are adjacent to me?
Sure. My new character is going to be named Elliot, and I think we'll just sort of let exactly the details about him play out as he comes into the game.
That sounds very Rob. And Nick, who are you playing today, buddy?
Well, I'm playing Joe. The only thing I rolled for him to make his entire character was his HP and his donkey's HP. Because I took 10 down the board in stats, took the minimum amount of fighter gold, and that was pretty much it.
And this is going to be your favorite character of all time,
I could roll for... Well, we'll see.
We'll see. So
I may just have it so that if he just dies, I just have another average guy come on with the same exact loadout. It's just a continuation of average
Joe,
people.
and then average Josephine, and then average John, and average Alex. Yeah. Well, you guys are hanging out in Shenanigans. It's a regular, ordinary day. The band is here. It's Lutes and Liars. They're back in town. They're playing their regular songs. It's a calm, peaceful day here. There's a couple of people sitting around their tables, having a bite to eat, or maybe a quick drink with friends in between the hustle and bustle of their days. Lizzie and Desmond are on either side of the bar, kind of like holding hands and staring lovingly into each other's eyes and like saying flirty, cutesy, fun stuff, which is wonderful and adorable if you're one of the two people doing it, and kind of just annoying to everyone standing around them. Mostly annoying at how cute they are and how nobody else is nearly as cute as them, but that's everyone else's problem. Glib Glob is currently mopping the staircase. Borsch is cooking up a storm in the kitchen. Layla is sitting by herself by the fire, reading, doing homework. Jackson's outside mopping, shoveling horse manure. And the spirit of Sierra Nevada is taking a nap because it's the middle of the day.
All right. So Elliot is sitting at a table, probably by himself until Average Joe comes up. He appears to be a 12-year-old boy with his elven boy with his hair slicked back. He's wearing chainmail that just seems to be too big for him. He has just this look like he's noticed the world doesn't smell very good, but he expected that. When he sees Desmond and Lizzie making eyes at each other, he just kind of rolls his own eyes. And he shouts over. He looks like he's fairly neat and presentable as well as he can be, given that his chainmail is a bit too big for him, which just also seems to annoy him. And he shouts over at Glibglob, "You, bartender thing, give me a bourbon, neat."
Okay. Glibglob waddles behind the counter. Desmond and Lizzie. Desi's the name for the couple. Doesn't seem to notice him. And Glibglob comes back with a gourd filled with some sort of liquid, and just kind of plops the whole gourd down on the table. and goes back to mopping the stairs.
Is this a gourd? What is this? I asked for a bourbon neat.
Oh. He comes back, takes the gourd away, heads back around the table, comes back with a like a wooden, those trays that you use for eating breakfast in bed. You've got like a little tray with the little legs on them that unfold. He brings one of those over to you, and then goes back to the stairs.
Was your entire family dropped on their heads when they were young, or just you? I said a bourbon neat. What does this have to do with anything?
Oh. He puts down
I
his
think
mop.
I'll walk into the bar at this point.
Sure. You walk
Just
in and
see the child yelling about bourbon.
Yep. And Glibglob dutifully takes the
Walk over and say, just walk over and say, aren't you a little young to be ordering that?
I am a 37-year-old man. This current body is just an unfortunate mistake, which I'm sure will be cleared up quite soon.
Glibglob comes back in your direction carrying a longsword. And he sets the longsword down on the table and then just kind of takes a step back and looks at you.
Is this like a magical longsword, one of Desmond's?
I mean, it's a pretty well-crafted longsword. It looks pretty nice.
He looks at it over. He takes it, put it back behind his back. All right, also, bring me a bourbon neat. And he slides a copper over to Glibglob.
Who takes the copper, puts it in his mouth, and then heads back behind the bar. Comes back around, this time with like 3 different bottles that he's just got in his arms. And he comes over and he lets them all down. They kind of like topple to the side, but they've got stoppers in them. And it's like tumble. One of these happens to be a bourbon. One of these is a apple cider vinegar. And the last one is just sparkling water from the spring up the road.
Looks him over. He takes the bourbon, takes the sparkling water, slides the apple cider vinegar back. All right. And he slides him another copper piece.
Takes the other copper piece and puts it in his other cheek. And then puts the bottle back.
He's going to be picking those out of his feces this time tomorrow. Just you wait. Well, who are you?
All right, I'm Joe. Who are you?
I'm Elliot Michael. Of the adventuring company.
Oh, hello, Elliot.
Sloan, and Meacham.
Sloan, and Meacham?
Yes.
Alrighty then. We'll sit down at the table. Call over Glibglob.
He sighs, puts down his mop, heads back over to the table, and looks at you with kind of big eyes. Big, gross eyes.
A beer?
He walks back over to the bar, steps around side of it, comes back with a shoe, and puts it down on the table. Then just picks it back up, walks back around, realizing this isn't what you wanted. And this time he just tugs on Desmond's pants until Desmond breaks eye contact with Lizzie, and Glibglob mumbles something in Kobold behind the bar, and Desmond kind of looks up over towards you and goes, "What'd you want?"
A beer.
Fucking Glibglob's gotta learn how to speak at least a little bit of common if he's gonna... grumbles, hands Glibglob a beer, who comes back around to you and Now you have a beer.
Okay.
All right. You guys are hanging out together. You're sitting down at the same table together. Anything you guys want to do in particular?
I'll just make small chat like, well, so what do you do?
I work for Sloan and Meacham, the adventuring company. I'm a junior wizard mage. A priest of Lucandra, the goddess of magic and industrial light.
Alrighty then. I'm Joe. I got a spear.
Do you know anything about magical fountains?
Nope.
Then I don't know what use you are.
Well,
Can hit things with a spear.
yep.
Just sitting back, sipping the beer.
Is Layla here?
Yep.
She is. Yep.
I call over.
Yes, take this one's long sword. Then bother his daughter. Sure, this will go swimmingly.
I go, young woman.
Hmm?
I'm we're the same apparent age.
Mm-hmm.
But young woman, I need you.
Uh-huh. I'll be there in just a minute. Hold on.
Five hours later.
Many moments pass.
Oh, I need you over here now, young woman. You're one of Nick's classmates, aren't you?
Huh? Whose?
You're one of Nick's classmates, aren't you?
She finally looks up from her book. I'm sorry, who's Nick?
Nick is actually her classmate whose body I'm switched into.
Oh. What? What? You're the only Nick I know.
Yes. You get decent grades, don't you? You have
What
that
are
look about you
talking
doing your
dude?
homework. Do you get good grades in your magic classes at Wogwarts?
She looks at you like, what are you even talking about? What are you doing here? Dad! What's Nick doing here? Desmond ignores
No
the two
need to
of
get
you.
him involved in it. Simply had a business proposition for you. You look very studious over there doing your homework. I was going to offer you 5 gold to do Nick's homework for this week.
To do your homework, you want to pay me 5 gold.
Yes, to do my homework.
Don't you know who my dad is? I don't need your 5 pieces of gold, okay? And, like, why would I want to do your homework for you anyway?
For money, I was offering hard currency.
What is wrong with you? Did Katie push
Nothing
you
is
off
wrong
the
with
cliff? I know the two of you went there to, like, make out, and she said you were getting a little weird, and so she, like, gave you a shove. Did you hit your head when you fall or something? When you fell?
Wait, what is this? Nick was hanging out with that little hussy? I warned him.
What are you doing? What the hell? Look, if this is some new, like, weird way of behaving that you think is funny, like... You're just lame. You're just a goober.
Joe is just sitting there sipping
Never
beer,
mind.
trying not to understand anything that's going on.
I look over at Joe. You don't understand fundamental spellcraft theory, did you?
I was a farmer. No.
Of course. Surrounded by kobolds, and farmers, rude little girls, and apparently hussies meeting Nick at a cliff. Could my life get any worse than this right now?
Layla comes over to your table. She's put her book down, and now she's got her arms crossed, and she's looking at you, and she goes, "You're not Nick, are you? I've been around enough weird magic stuff to know that someone who keeps referring to themselves in the third person and speaks funny probably really isn't them. Are you a doppelganger?" He goes and pokes you.
What? Of course not.
Are you a doppelganger? Are you sure? Dad, I think we have a doppelganger in the bar. Not now, sweetie. Your mother and I are talking.
Look, I don't have time to do this stupid homework. That's why I need to hire someone to do it. I've got a fourth quarter TPR report to get in. Because
if you don't want to learn,
Nick
why are you even going to school?
Is going to graduate as valedictorian. He needs to get his homework in.
Where's Nick? What'd you do with him?
I'm right here, classmate.
Mom, there's a doppelganger in the bar. Not now, sweetie. Your father and I are talking. Fine. You want me to do Nick's homework for him? Sure,
yes.
I'll do it for him. But not for money.
For what then?
You're Nick's dad, aren't you?
Why would you say that? I'm Nick. Don't I look like Nick?
Because you want Nick to graduate valedictorian, so you're probably someone related to him, and I don't know. You just kind of sound like a dad, so I'm just guessing Nick's dad.
Why, thank you. That's a good thing to sound like.
Sure. So I'll do Nick's homework.
Maybe I'm just Nick, and I finally came to my senses about my future.
Sure. You didn't even flinch twice when I mentioned Katie. Clearly you're not Nick. If you were real Nick, you would start sweating and stammering with the moment I said Katie's name. That's okay. It's alright. I don't mind. Look.
Nick is not like those other mufflehuffs.
What?
I can't believe he got sorted into that house with that training bra.
What?
The sorting training bra they use at Wogwarts. People don't realize it was founded initially by witches as an all-girls school. They used a sorting training bra when it became co-ed 2 centuries ago. Well, tradition.
I feel like that's a really awkward thing to pick. Rob.
Neal, I want to point out Zen had to apparently put that on because he came from the wizard school.
This is not canon. This is Nick's father listening to Nick, who told him it was a sorting bra when it really wasn't. Nick's father just has bad information. He believed his son. All right. So here's the deal. I'll do Nick's homework. If whenever you're back in your real body, you'll pull me out of school when I need you. I'll come and ask you for a favor, and you'll come pull me out of school. 3 times for every day that I do Nick's homework.
Agreed. I put my hand out to shake.
She puts out her hand, she shakes it, and then goes back to her spot by the fire.
All right.
So the two of you are now sitting here. Elliot, you have a sword, a really, really nice looking sword.
Yeah, I've put that in. Actually, I'm putting that kind of hidden in my backpack if I can make it.
Well, it won't fit in your backpack. It'll stick out. Swords don't fit in backpacks. But you can have it like on the side of your chair, opposite of where Desmond is, so he can't see it.
I'm gonna take like reach in my backpack, take a blanket out of my bedroll, and wrap the sword up in that.
All right, so you
Just kinda
are
stick it.
stealing a sword from Shenanigans. That's happening right now, right?
It was given to me by a licensed employee.
I don't know if that part's accurate, but sure, that's fine. Just I want to make it very clear that that's what's happening here. So the two of you are just chilling, and eventually the door opens up, and what do we have here? An elderly man comes in. He's got a walking cane in each hand. He's so elderly. And he starts kind of hobbling the short distance to the bar and sits down. And then he turns kind of around and raises one cane up and goes, "Excuse me, I need help. I need to get to Kershwick, but I'm very old and very frail. Are any of you people here, gentlemen or ladies, who would help an elderly man get his way to Kershwick?"
No.
There's nothing odd about my request. I just need to get to Kershwick for no reason in particular. Just need to get from one place to another, and I could use some help.
What's the pay for this mission?
Oh, well, I'm elderly, so I'm on a fixed income. Would you really charge a poor old man just to help him cross the very long street to Kershwick?
Without a second thought at all.
Oh, kids
Listen,
these
I'm a
days.
Sloan and Meacham professional.
What's Sloan and Meacham?
What's Sloan and Meacham? Why, that's the most renowned adventuring company in this entire town, in this region, perhaps.
Oh, they must be new. I have never heard of them. But new things are always popping up, I guess. When I was your age, there weren't even any adventuring companies in town. You see, it all started back during the Age of
Yes.
Mist.
You got an onion at your belt. If you're not paying us,
What does it have to do with an onion? But if you insist, and since no one else seems to be volunteering, he looks around. Anyone? Then I will give
need
you
money to hire some sort of wizardly expert in magical fountains. I can't afford to do anything for free right now.
Well, if you can get me all the way to Kershwick, I will give you the greatest treasure, the second greatest, no, the greatest treasure in all the land. It's definitely the greatest.
Oh, no, I'm not working for self-knowledge or something like that.
No. Don't be ridiculous.
Be a little more specific on this greatest treasure in all the land.
I don't know how to be more clear than the greatest treasure in all the land.
Well,
That's a pretty narrow definition, if you ask me.
if you say it's the greatest treasure, I'll help you.
Oh, look at you! What a wonderful young man!
Are we talking about a fist-sized diamond? What do you imagine to be the greatest treasure in all the land?
I
need
don't
hard
need
cash
you
reserves.
anymore. I've got this young gentleman over here. Besides, you're just a little boy. Although you speak quite precociously for someone of your size. Now, you other gentleman over there, the nice one. My name is Fred. Some people call me Murray because it seems to suit my age a little bit better, but you can call me Fred if you'd like.
Yes, Fred Murray.
Fred or Murray. No one calls me Fred Murray. That's just zany.
Alrighty then.
Wonderful. Well, I'm not getting any younger. Shall we go?
Well, I suppose. Let me get a few apples and things to eat along the way.
Goodbye, other gentlemen.
You realize he's never going to get you there.
Oh? That's what she said. Oh, my heart.
Look, I'm a skilled adventuring professional. Junior partner. If you have cash,
no,
then let's hear about this. But that man is
greatest.
never going to get you there.
Of course he will. Look at him. He's young and strapping.
He's got a pitchfork.
I got a spear.
He broke 2 tines off his pitchfork. It's calling it a spear.
That's probably what happened.
The old man begins to hobble out of the bar.
All right. Well, I'll go get my donkey from the stables.
Okay.
Then, how much is it for like a couple days rations?
It's like 2 silver for a day's rations. I don't know. I gotta look it up. It is a small amount of money.
Okay.
Oops, that is not the right table. Systems, economics. Okay, so it looks like Joe is leaving with Fred. Are you going to go after them, Elliot?
Initially, I'm
he's
just sitting there.
offering you the greatest treasure in all the land.
Initially, I get out my fourth quarter TPR reports, my treasure and prize reports here. I'm like, and then treasure. What is that treasure? It's the greatest treasure. He said it wasn't something stupid like self-knowledge. Damn it. I need to hire that fountain expert if I'm ever going to get back with my buddy. God damn it. All right. I'll go out. I'll say, all right, I'll help, because this one is never going to get you all the way to Kershwick.
Bless your heart, young man. Come along, gentlemen. It's a long way to Kershwick, much, much longer, because I only move at movement rate 4.5.
No, Neal. I'm putting him on the donkey.
Oh. Wow. All right. He is on the donkey. He is going to move much faster. And off you guys go.
All right.
The woods
So, at some point along the way, when I'm slightly out of earshot of this guy,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say to the old man, "It's the greatest treasure, happiness, and satisfaction of doing a good deed."
Nonsense! Happiness is fleeting. Satisfaction ends.
All right.
This is the greatest treasure in the land.
All right, I'm wearing my surcoat with the Sloan and Meacham corporate logo on it.
What is the Sloan and Meacham logo?
Well, it's 2 long swords over a big snake, which might look suspiciously like a dollar sign.
Wonderful. Okay. Off through the woods you go, escorting Fred or Murray. By the way, which do you guys end up calling him? Do you call him Fred or are you calling him Murray?
I call him Fred.
I'm going to call him Kurt Russell's dad.
I don't know that one. Sorry.
I guess they never were in movies together, were they?
I didn't know Kurt Russell's father did films. I've never even heard of this person before. I just assumed.
No, Kurt Russell was like the kid in tons of Disney films before he became a badass.
Really? He was a Disney kid?
Yeah, he was like in the original Flubber and all kinds of stuff like that.
No, what? First off, there's an original Flubber? And Kurt Russell is not in any Flubber.
I thought he was in Flubber, or the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, or something like that, where he was like a super smart genius teenager or something.
The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah, that was like one of those. It was like a bunch of goofy, low rent Disney movies where he was the kid.
I've only known Kurt Russell from his like better films like The Thing and Escape from New York.
Well, before that, he was a Disney kid.
Wow.
But
Never would have known.
Like he probably didn't. Yeah, I don't think he overlapped with Fred Murray though. Probably.
Oh, so Fred Murray's the guy's actual name. Is Kurt Russell's dad?
Fred Murray played like a bunch of dads. I thought that's what you were going for.
No.
Fred Murray was like the guy who played a bunch of Disney or dads in Disney movies.
No. This is an internal reference just for my own personal gratification.
So Fred McMurray, sorry.
Yeah. Fred is the generic name that we used for whenever we just needed to like call out like that guy over there. We just called all the guys Fred and all the girls Frederica back when I was teaching ballroom classes and in my martial arts classes I was teaching. So when you can't think of someone's name, you just Fred or Frederica. And then Murray is the old man's name from Scrubs.
Ah, I see. Okay, I thought you were doing like Fred McMurray, who I thought that was like with the whole Freaky Friday thing, like a call out to old Disney movies.
No, if I was that smart, that would have been better. But he's not in Freaky Friday either.
No, but he was in like old Disney movies.
All right.
He was the dad.
Let's move. Let's keep going. You're in the woods. What is the marching order here? Is it Fred or Murray on the donkey at the head with you guys 300 feet behind?
No, I'll take the lead because these amateurs have no idea what they're doing.
Okay.
I'll flank him on the backside.
Okay. You guys are walking.
Like I usually have torchbearers for this.
We're just walking down the road. It's an ordinary, everyday road. And it's just doing its normal thing. When you see, stepping out into the path before you, ogre. The ogre steps out. Well, he's not quite that big. Boop. And kind of blocks your path a little bit. The ogre intones.
All right, can I get a tank up here?
He points his club
God damn it, we don't have a tank.
in your direction. Steps a little bit closer.
I'll come to the front and say, hello?
The ogre continues to grunt. And move closer.
I'll say in Orcish, do you speak Orcish?
Oh god, I think ogre is its own language. I don't think he speaks Orcish. Maybe. Let's find out. Let's roll a d20 and see if he speaks Orcish. Where are my d20s? Here, there's one of them. Hey, look at that! The ogre turns to you and says, "Why, yes, jolly good chap, I do speak Orcish. Do you happen to know the way to Berkshire? I'm seemingly lost on the road. Is it that way?" he says, pointing with his club at you guys again.
That way. We were just coming from it.
Oh, blessed. Thank you. You don't know how hard it is asking for directions on a road like this. Quite a lot of violent people.
Yes, no doubt.
Wonderful. Good. Thank you, good sirs. And the ogre walks past you guys heading towards Berkshire.
So what do you want?
And I turn over to Joe. All right, you're responsible for taking on the next one.
What? Oh, okay.
All right. Another
Is
3
it gonna be another
hours
ogre?
pass as you walk along the road. When you come to an overturned turnip cart, there are turnips covering the road, and there's just a guy sitting on the edge of the overturned turnip cart, turnip in one hand, a dagger in the other. He's peeling and then eating the peels of the turnip raw.
Would that be the cart that you fell off of, Joe?
No, I didn't have a cart at the farm. So,
Is it
hello,
blocking the
sir?
road, or
The turnips are all over the road, but, you know, they're only turnips. They're not going to impede you too much. He gives you a little bit of a nod and a bit of a wave with the dagger in his hand. Greetings. Greetings.
What happened to this cart?
Wouldn't you know it? Hit a rut in the road, animal got spooked, took off, flipped the cart, and just, horse is gone. I'm kind of waiting, hoping it'll come back.
Well,
perhaps you should try making
know
sounds
if
like
I
a
can-
female horse in heat.
I don't know
You want
if
to
I
give me
can
one of
help
them
you
sounds?
flip it back over.
Oh, that'd be mighty kind of you. How do you make a sound of a female horse in heat? How's it go again? I can't remember.
I wouldn't know.
Well, it's not very good advice,
I
then, ain't
didn't
it?
grow up on the farm.
You look like a farm boy.
I did not grow on a farm.
God, you're awfully articulate and well-spoken for a kid of your age.
Well,
That
I'm
one
sorry I
first,
couldn't help you with that sound. I've never had a horse.
Right, well, you want to help me flip this card over?
Sure, I can help you with that.
Together, the two of you get the cart upturned, and then he starts tossing one turnip after another back into the cart. But there's like hundreds of them on the ground, maybe even
Oh, I'll help
thousands
him
of them.
get turnips.
You're like the nicest person ever, Average Joe. You help the random old man put turnips back in his cart. What are you doing?
Oh, you didn't say he
during-
was that old.
Well, okay, he's not that old. I guess I'm just falling into the trap of calling every NPC an old man or old woman, but that's not the case. He's like 38 or something. Quite
Oh,
spry.
it's a little older than me.
Yeah.
I'm not helping, but I do at some point stand near Joe and say, Joe, you negotiate the price before you render the services.
I just keep helping with the turnips.
Meanwhile, Fred says, "You know there, Nicholas, it's a good thing for a man to help another man with his problems. That gentleman over there with all the turnips spilled, well, it would certainly build a lot of character for you if you were to help him with his turnip problem. Don't you want character?"
I've got plenty of character as it is. Thank you very much.
Not the right
I
type
am
of
a
character,
professional.
apparently. Come on,
He's got
son.
about a half dozen characters.
Look, I have busted my ass these last 12 years. I am this close to making partner.
Oh. Certainly are going through
If I could
puberty.
nail this Spiegel quest, but oh no, my son is off in my body. Run off. I can only imagine what kind of harm he's doing to my reputation.
Your son is inside your body? You're a cannibal? Oh, dearie me. And he starts turning around your horse, Joe, and starts getting the horse to, well, the donkey doesn't really go that fast, but gets the donkey headed back
No.
towards Berkshire while screaming,
Calm down,
"Cannibal!
sir!
You can't
I go running
slayer!
after the donkey.
Child eater!"
I go running after the donkey.
Yeah. You can catch up because the donkey's just
catch up?
plodding along. Yeah.
Okay. I slow the donkey down. Say, no, he got messed, as far as I understand, he got messed up in magic stuff, and those two swapped bodies.
Eh?
His soul is in his son's body, his son's soul is in his body.
What I wouldn't give to be a young boy again. You truly are the most blessed man on the face of this earth, Mr. Nicholas. Be young again.
Anyway,
Even if you had to sacrifice your own son to do it.
What? I don't want to be young. I need to get back. I need to take care of the Spiegel quest.
There's a beagle?
The partnership is riding on it.
You guys finish packing up the turnips. Doesn't take too long.
I'm already up to my armpits and TPR reports.
does the horse come back?
The horse does not come back, unfortunately. However, the gentleman does hand you a silver dagger for your help. Saying, thank you for all that. Take this. I said that there are werewolves around here, and this could be useful against them. But to be honest, I don't think I could be very much... I don't think I could take on a werewolf by myself.
Well, where are you headed?
Kershwick?
Well, that's where we're headed. Since how you don't have a horse to pull your cart, maybe I can hook it up to the donkey.
I'm mighty obliged. Thank you, young feller.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys hook up the donkey to the cart. You transition Murray, or Fred, over into the cart. And the two NPCs are now bumping along in the cart while you guys walk alongside on your way to Kershwick. You get to the end of where you can go for the day and have to make camp. Anything in particular that I should know about the camp that you're setting up?
Well, along the way, I mutter to myself that I can't believe I'm literally escorting a turnip cart now.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Okay. Well, let's go to break.
All right.
And when we come back from break, we'll find out what happens in the dark, in the night. See you soon.